So a not so fun or cool or whatever thing is, I wake up this morning and the thing was, I was gonna do a review of, Fantasy Island anyway, but I didn't anticipate having to do it kind of like this, which is to find out that it's canceled. It was, and the thing is, there's a good reason for it, and I'm not going to dispute that there's a good reason for it. The first series just kind of, it did well enough to get a season two renewal, and it was quite, it was good. I enjoyed the first season. Again, if you want to know my thoughts on it, you can check out the channel. I did review it like 2.5 years ago, and that's kind of the problem. Like it was good. It was on the bubble, but they got a renewal. But then COVID happened, and then they pushed back the thing. Like season 2, it premiered after Christmas this year. At the beginning of the year for a 13 episode, basically half season, and it's been something to the tune of like 18 months, maybe a little more, since the last time we saw the show. Maybe, and in that time, have they marketed this well? No. Do they remind people about it? Not really. They It was so much time between the last season, this one, and it was already on the bubble. I'm not surprised by this. I'm not happy with it either, because season 2 is better than season 1. Like, season 1 was quite good. Season 2 is much, much better. There's more story to it. There's an ongoing story about Ruby and this woman that she's sort of fallen in love with. The Javier and Elena, that whole little relationship thing happens. There's a Javier finds out he's got a daughter, and like just the mystery, or the fantasy of the week situation is by and large pretty strong. Like the first episode of the season I wasn't super happy with. I thought it was kind of not good, but every episode after that was very good. And so I think that in this second season they really found their stride. They figured out who they were trying to be. They figured out who the characters are, and really like focused on the found family aspect of this show. Ruby getting to be more of a driving force of the story. Elena, being confident but not confident in her love life. Her and Javier, figuring their thing out. It's just been really, really good. And it had a great season finale. Like, the season finale was really about figuring out the whole thing with Ruby and her her girlfriend, who's a mermaid, trying to entice her to come in, to give her life away and to come into the ocean, and Elena not wanting to force her not to do that, but also knowing that how dangerous it is and everything, and kind of pulling out the big guns and bringing in Ruby's daughter to sort of remind her why she shouldn't do it. And it's a very emotional episode. It was extremely, to me, was an extremely well told story. Again, about found family and all that, but also a mother and a daughter. A daughter who thinks her mom's dead, getting to have one last day to talk to her mom and to tell her what she means and everything like that, and for them to come to an understanding. And this is all anchored by the fact that Kiera Barnes as Ruby channels kind of an old soul energy in a young person's body, and it's to the writing, to her acting in it. I think Rosalind Sanchez as Elena Rourke, she's so strong. Like, she's not the original Mr. Rourke, but there's definitely a stylistic through line from him to her about how she conducts business on the island, and all the fantastical nature of everything. Oh, and you have the character of Javier, who he becomes a real character, in that he has a past, and he has a daughter that comes in, and the daughter comes in, and she's quite good. She's a good addition, especially when she becomes friends with Ruby. The whole mermaid thing. I mean, there's just a lot of cool stuff in this show, and I hate that it's not going to get another season because they built up enough to like make a more really good, episodic TV, while we're also following, what's going on with the characters. But I also can tell by watching that finale that maybe they knew. Like sometimes, you get canceled and you don't get to finish your story, but sometimes you have a good, maybe you have a feeling, or maybe they just tell you you're not getting another season, so just wrap it up. And that's a gift because then you can finish telling the story and leave no, dangling plot hooks or anything like that. And I think that they really wrapped up all of the plot, lines, and made it so that if there was another season, cool. But if not, it's fine that there's a satisfying story that is in it. So to that end, I'm not super upset that it's got canceled. I am more, it's just unfortunate. I see why. I understand that the demo wasn't good. The season finale didn't get a huge number of viewers. I get all that. So I understand why it is going away. And it's just unfortunate. That just happens sometimes. Sometimes a good story doesn't catch with enough people, and there's just those of us who like it. We get what we get, and we got to be happy with what we got. So to that end, I'm very happy about that. And I hope that they all land somewhere good. Like Rosalind Sanchez, she's an excellent actor. I know she can, contribute anywhere she goes. Kiara Barnes, did not know her before this. I'm glad that I got to experience her acting. I understand from her IMDb, she is a soap opera actor. Cool. I'm not going to go watch that, whatever she's on. But it would be cool if she showed up in other things because I think she's quite talented. And just everybody else on there, the writers, all of them, I hope they really land somewhere else. So anyway, that's unfortunate, but, farewell to Fantasy Island.